Hey guys, what's up? So on today's episode I'm gonna make a sewer wall background for when I take pictures of my Ninja Turtles and I don't know, maybe Batman one day is in the sewers. So I start just cutting up, it's $2 worth of foam floor mat from the dollar store, and I have a basic idea of the size and shape I'm going for. Now I'm gonna cut out a little like doorway or archway just to add some depth, and I cut those other pieces. They're going to be a ledge at the bottom there to add some depth. And now I put another ledge at the top to give it a little bit of a round look. I don't know. Now I'm the heat gun's warming up there. I'm cutting up and just doing random damage to make it look more damaged and realistic. And I'm gonna hit it with the heat gun now because I want to seal both sides of the foam before I paint, and because it'll stop it from soaking in, and also the glue that's going to be on the back will stop from soaking in. Now ready to glue it down on the backboard. On the other side I actually have a wall I built previous, but I don't have room for even just this one piece of board, so I didn't want to have two separate ones. It's a way to save space. I'm just using super glue because I like it. It's super. And then whatever I have around to weigh it down so that it doesn't move while it's drying. So now I'm going to start, I'm using spackling because it dries fast and it's easy to work with just to fill in the cracks. And now I'm just randomly going everywhere and anywhere a little bit to add some texture and depth and just variety to the wall. Now I've laid out maybe like $8 worth of scrap copper plumbing pieces I had laying around and just fitting those in. Now I'm giving everything getting the gray paint ready. So I added black and white and a little bit of turquoise just to give it, I don't know, a little spicier than just regular gray. It didn't really make a difference, but it'll maybe accent the green I'm gonna add later better. Not sure. But now it's not really mixed up great in the cup, so that it's adding some different texture and colors. And I added a little more black, and now I'm just touching up some spots. Now I'm going on with the quick clear coat, as quick as I can, because it's really doesn't need to take up a lot of your time watching me put it on a clear coat. So this is like the original Gorilla Glue, and what I learned a couple years ago is when it dries, it starts to bubble up and it looks cool. So I've used it a couple times, but it's been years since I used this effect, and I might have added too much glue to start with, and I'm gonna realize soon that I should have super glued that one long copper pipe, or super glued it first, because it's gonna start to fall. And also to activate the glue, they recommend you put water on one side and glue on the other. But I'm just spraying the whole thing with water. It'll add some cool effect to the paint a little bit, maybe. No, I already sealed it, so it won't. And I already made this, so I should already know that. But while I'm waiting for that to dry, because it takes a while, I start giving it a wash, first on the copper pipe. And now I'm gonna start on the whole wall, just to add some more depth and color and randomness. But I go mostly at the top and the bottom and in the middle where there's that crack. And you just apply the black wash. It's just black water and black acrylic and water. So yeah, now I think it's ready because I did add some super glue and that dried. So spraying because I want the glue to start to kind of drip down naturally. I'm adding more glue and I keep spraying it with more water, and now I can see the top, so I'm adding some black wash to fill in any cracks and places I missed with the paint. You can kind of see the glue starting to bubble there. Now I've started with some adding green to the glue. It's not all fully dry yet, but I don't know, the water and the paint kind of reacts and makes it bubble more. And plus, just adding in some other places more green. It's always good to have more green. Now I'm just spreading it around with a toothpick because that's my favorite paintbrush. If you've seen my other videos, you might recognize that I use a toothpick a lot, not on my teeth. So now I can see more. I'm going in, adding some more green, touching up some of the white, just adding some more to the wall. Make it look more natural, like dripping, not just where the glue is bubbling. So kind of have a pattern, but also kind of dry brushing it a little bit around everywhere just to add some highlights to the wall and to the boring parts of the wall. And I found this piece. I think it'll look good there. So instead of a doorway, I think it's gonna look cool if it's a pipe sticking out of there and that goes down a dark corridor. So I painted that to match the other copper pipes, and I glued it down. Again, should have used super glue first. And it's a little dark, but I'll bring it up a little. So I added some the glue and the paint. I want it to bubble over. I'm using a toothpick just to move the paint around to, again, make it look like it's overflowing and more realistic. What I didn't remember or realize, there's gaps behind where the glue and paint is just dripping down in the back. But I'll leave it to dry. Didn't get that bad. And now just kind of dry brushing a little more green around everywhere. Mostly the bottom where it would have been splashing on the floor. And now I found this other smaller pipe I'm gonna add to the top corner just to make it a little heavier and harder to balance. But for this one, I don't want it to be green bubbling ooze. I want it to look more like water's dripping, so that's clear craft gel glue. Yeah, gel glue. And just I want to leave that so it kind of drips a little, and that's a better view. It'll look kind of cool, hopefully. Now I've added more glue to bubble in there, and we're gonna get a better view. Now is when I realize that it's all just been dripping down from behind instead of bubbling over. So I cut two little pieces of foam, well, rip off two little pieces of foam to block the hole. And I'm gonna add some more glue and some more water. Now clean up a bit, give it a place to drip without ruining the top. I mean, I like to get the top a little dirty, but chunky glue would not be good. It's better level. So this is what it looks like in the end. I hope you learned something. I learned stuff sometimes. Thanks a lot. Peace. Always keep your head up. Later.